In this video, we're going to show you how to calculate the mixed air temperature of two air streams. Okay, so here you have a very common HVAC system. You've got your cooling coil located here, your supply fan right here, your supply discharge to the space, and your return to the unit. So for sakes of this example, let's say we have 25% outdoor air at 95 degrees, 78 wet bulb. That's 95 degrees dry, 78 wet bulb. And the return air temperature here is 72 degrees dry bulb and 50% relative humidity. So the question is, when we mix these two air streams, what is the temperature of the air here? So this is actually a very simple calculation. The mixed air temperature will equal your outdoor air temperature times the percentage of outdoor air plus the return air temperature times the percentage of return air. As noted on the previous slide, the outdoor air is 25% and the return air is 75%. So if we plug that into our equation, we note that the mixed air temperature is 95 times 0.25 plus 72 degrees times 0.75. You might see the answer better if I move myself out of the way here. So now you can see the answer is 77.75 or 77.8 to round it up dry bulb. Now, here's an important question. And the question is this: the dry bulb's pretty easy to calculate. What about the wet bulb? Relative humidity, the humidity ratio, and the dew point? Well, we can get all that by plotting this out on the psychrometric chart. It's actually very simple. Let me show you how. So if you recall, our outdoor air is 95 degrees dry, 78 wet. Let's go ahead and plot that on the psychrometric chart. So the dry bulb's down here. That's 95 degrees dry bulb, which is right here. And we have 78 degree wet bulb, which is right here. So our resultant state point is located right here. Now we go through and do the same thing for the return air, 72 degrees dry bulb, 50% relative humidity, which if we plot that out, we will see 72 degrees dry bulbs right here and 50% relative humidity right here. And that is our other state point. So here's a fun fact. The mixed air temperature of two air streams will always fall on a line between the two state points. So let's go ahead and draw a line between these 2 points. There you go. We see we've connected the 2 points, the outdoor air and the return air. Now our mixed air temperature, we already know because we calculated that. So let's go ahead and plot that as well. Okay, which is right here. Now we can pull any other point off of this psychrometric chart that we want for that state point. So if we follow the wet bulb line, it takes us to 65 degrees wet bulb. And if we wanted the dew point and humidity ratio, we could scooch over here to the right-hand side and you could see the humidity ratio, grains of moisture per pounds of dry air. This would be approximately 72-ish grains per pound of dry air. And the dew point looks about 58 degrees dew point. Okay, let's go back to our graphic and plug in the wet bulb temperature. Okay, and now you can see the wet bulb temperature and dry bulb for the mixed airstream of this system. And you could also pull off all the other points as we noted earlier. So that's how you determine the mixed air temperature and other properties of air of two mixed airstreams.